In the beginning, when I first started, my why was, I'm never going back to work with somebody again. I just had reached that burnout stage, and driving an hour each way to work, I said, I'm done. And so by doing this, I now get to spend time with my grandkids. If I want to take an afternoon off and go somewhere, go see them or whatever, I can do it. I have that freedom. I have a boss saying, oh no, you have no more time left. So I absolutely love what I do. I get to meet so many incredible. And I think that's the biggest part. I'm a people person. I love people. And so being able to do that and meet everybody, it's just wonderful. And I won't wish it for nothing.
Welcome to the Millionaire Momentum Show, where lifestyle meets business and abundance and impact align. Abundance is who you are, and impact is what happens when you share it. Join Aly Porter and Elise Smith as we spotlight entrepreneurs building their millionaire lives. Together, we'll explore faith, business growth, AI, and the stories, mindsets, and strategies behind real success, and discover how you can step into the millionaire life you were made for. Welcome to the Millionaire Momentum Show. This is where abundance and impact align. I'm your host, Aly Porter, aka your Freedom Connector. And remember that abundance is who you are and impact is what happens when you share it. So let's dive in. All right, we have a special guest with us today. Her name is Phyllis Arnstein. Hi, Phyllis. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
It's so good to have you on the podcast. So thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
So Phyllis is a wife, a mom, a grandma. She has been an entrepreneur for 10 years. She helps people get out of debt and live financially responsible. She also helps you to retire your debt before you retire, which I love. It is amazing. And so I cannot wait to dive into that. But before we do, Phyllis, I want to hear your story. I want to hear where you came from, why you decided to do the business that you're in, but also why you decided to become a connector, because that is innately who you are. When you think of Phyllis, you think connector, because you're just freaking awesome. And I would love to hear the behind the scenes of how that came to be.
Well, I did 29 years in the corporate world. I was in aerospace sales. So I've been in sales just about my whole life. And I really love my job until the last 3 years. And I think it's always God family work. Somewhere in that 29 years, I got the whole three things mixed up. So when I left abruptly and halfway home, I'm like, I have no job. I have no exit plan. I have no paycheck and no benefits. And we just opened a restaurant. Boy, is this going to be an interesting conversation.
Wow.
But I knew I had to get things back in order, with the stress from the job and all that. So I started networking for the restaurant and I absolutely fell in love with networking. I had never done it before, and that's how I got introduced to what I'm doing now. And through all my journey, I got it back right side up again, God, family, job. And so I love what I do because God has blessed me with the business. In the beginning, when I first started, my why was, I'm never going back to work for somebody again. I just had reached that burnout stage, and driving an hour each way to work, I said, I'm done. And so by doing this, I now get to spend time with my grandkids. If I want to take an afternoon off and go somewhere, go see them or whatever, I can do it. I have that freedom. Yeah. I don't have a boss saying, oh no, you have no more time left, So I absolutely love what I do. I get to meet so many incredible. And I think that's the biggest part. I'm a people person. I love people, and so being able to do that and meet everybody, it's just wonderful. And I won't wish it for nothing.
Amen. 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 I'm the same way. I love people too. And I love being able to just connect with them and be able to see what they need. And you're exactly the same. And I think that's why we connect well, because we're like, yes, let's connect. So I love it. I love it. Well, when it comes to being a connector, let's go there for a minute. And then I want to hear more about your business that you actually own. But when it comes to being a connector, how do you think that helps you to be just a better person in general? What do you think helps you to, because I know for me, when I'm connecting with people, I feel like I'm a better listener. I feel like I'm kind of looking for ways to help them just automatically without even thinking. But for you, what do you feel like makes a good connector? Why do you feel like that's important?
You have to connect other businesses to people. You have to be able to help other businesses grow. You have to help them know how to connect, what to listen for, and I do that on Alignable because I help a lot of people who are brand new. And through helping them, then it's like, oh, I know somebody who I can connect you to, and then I connect those people. You have to be able to do that in order to move your own business forward. It can't always be about me, me. You have to be in the world where you can help everybody.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you brought brought up Alignable because that's actually where we host our networking event. So if you want to come on Thursdays, come to our networking event. But if you want to really dive into Alignable and really like understand it and use it to the best of its ability, because it's a great networking platform, talk to Phyllis, because Phyllis is like the queen of Alignable. She's amazing. But it's so awesome when you can truly become that connector for people just automatically. And when you become that person, like people trust you, right? And I think that's the big thing is we're in a trust recession right now. And so being able to have trust is massive. So I completely agree. So let's dive into where you're a connector, which is amazing, right? You actually do have your own business. You have your own products and services that you offer. So when it comes to that, let's talk more about that. What is it that Phyllis offers specifically? Not just connecting people and everything, but what is your offer? What is the thing that you get to help people with?
I get to help you with your debt, and I get to help you retire it before you do. You might have somebody, let's say, in their 50s. How am I ever going to retire? I have a 30-year mortgage. That makes me 80-something years old. I'm never going to retire. Or you have that person, let's say in their 40s, that goes, I have massive student loan debt. We all know student loan debt is designed for you to never pay it off. Let's, that's being honest. It's designed for you to die in your grave with your student loan debt, And so I get so excited because we have a software program that's like nothing else out there. And we take active current debt, anything you pay interest on, okay? And we show you how you pay it off in a third to a half the time using no extra money. It works with just the money you have. Why? Is the math timing the algorithm. It knows the exact day and the exact amount to the penny for you to make an extra payment on, because what you're doing is you're canceling out future interest. You still pay your principal, but when you get rid of all that interest, your debt is paid off so much faster. My software is so good, it's going to tell you the exact month, day, and year that you're going to be out of debt. Maybe not sometime, but exactly.
Wow, that's fancy.
So not only do we help you with your debt, but we also educate you. The first part of it is educating people how to get that relationship back with the dollar. Years ago, you had a $20 bill and you're like, I'm not going to break it. If I break the 20, I'm going to spend it. I'm going to hang on to this 20. Well, now everybody just swipes. So they don't pay attention sometimes to how much money do you really spend. Everything comes out of your account automatic. So maybe you went to the gym and you signed up and you did it for 6 months and you forgot about it. And it's been a couple of years, but that gym membership's still coming out of your account. So we educate people too on how to get that relationship back with the dollar. How to have that budget, how to be able to do this. We don't tell you have to give up anything. We don't put you on a Roman noodle diet, but we do make suggestions to educate you.
Yeah. And I love that because it isn't about just saying, oh, buy my product. It's like, we're trying to help you. Like, this is the point, and I really appreciate that. That's beautiful. What's your favorite thing that you love about what you do?
I had a lady, and everything is confidential, okay? I had a client who was in her early 50s, and the bank's way was 40-something years to pay off all her debt. She had everything, mortgage, car payments, credit cards, you name it, she had it, right? And she never thought she was going to be able to retire. With our software system, she's out of debt in 13.2 years.
Wow.
Taking 40-something years the bank's way down to 13.2 years, which makes her right in that retirement age. And she started crying when she realized that she really could retire. That's why I do what I do. Because sometimes people don't see light at the end of the tunnel, and I get to provide them with that light at the end of the tunnel. And that's why I want to get out and bless everybody, help everybody, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, you can retire. Yes, you can go on that trip, or yes, you can do whatever, and that was my pivotal moment on why I do what I do.
Amen. That is so beautiful. And honestly, that is the whole reason why we get into business in the first place, is to help people, to serve them. And your business can do that, especially yours, Phyllis. Like, it's so powerful when people have that freedom again, when they can breathe again, that's massive. That is so important.
It is. It really is. You have to have a bank to get a mortgage, right? You just don't have to pay them for 30 years anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, and you put all that money in your pocket, put all that interest that you're saving, put it in your pocket, Yeah.
I love it. Oh, I love that. Well, definitely connect with Phyllis if you need help with reducing your debt, not just reducing it, eliminating it, right? And allowing you to have that freedom again, because, so beautiful. And we'll talk about more of that at the end of the podcast episode here. But let's shift gears a little bit. So I know that you obviously have your own business, your own product and service. And there is also the other side of that, which is the affiliate side of either software products or other people's products or whatever, whether you're getting paid or whether you're not, whether it's just done out of the good goodness of your heart, whatever that is. But what do you think is important about being an affiliate? And why do you think that it's a good thing to be an affiliate for other people's businesses, other people's products, other people's programs, or whatever it is? Why do you think it's good to be an affiliate that is able to go and shout from the rooftops X, Y, and Z? Why do you think that that's a good thing?
I meet so many people on Alignable that have so many great businesses, and to be able to promote them and to tell people, hey, you need to be with this person. You really need this. And so in doing what we do when we do our free analysis, we do that deep dive into your expenses. I know that if you have life insurance or you have a retirement or you have this, because those are all expenses that you have to list. So a lot of times if they don't have, let's say, life insurance, then I talk to them, is that something that you think you might want to have, especially since maybe you have little kids or something. If you do, here, let me connect you with this person that I've met, and that's why I do a lot of the one-to-one. I want to know you before I know your business. Then we're going to do the business part. Then I know, do I refer you or not? And it's always the best way in the affiliate to be able to shout somebody else out for their business. It helps them. It puts them in the forefront too, and so that's all part of that know, like, and trust, and get to know the business, get to know the person. People buy from people. They don't buy from company names. They buy from people.
Yeah. Thank you for that reminder. Again, yes. I mean, I think that's the bottom line is like, if you can be a person first and you can connect with the people, then of course the business stuff will just come naturally. It won't feel hard. It won't feel salesy. Right. It'll just feel so natural because you're caring about the person, Amen. Oh, I totally agree with that.
Who do you know? Who do you know?
Yeah.
It's not about Aly. It's who does Aly know? That's going to introduce me to whoever. Because why? I got to know Aly. I didn't sell Aly my product. I got to know Aly.
Exactly.
You always keep it on the who do you know. And you know what? It could be the 10th person down the line that you never met. And you don't even know how they came to you, but they came to you as a referral.
Yeah. And I think being able to be aware of that and be able to continue forward, even if you feel like you're not getting anywhere, just knowing it's just you're one person away from having the best possible relationship you possibly can in business and life and all the things. You never know. So it's just so awesome.
I learned it years ago. My husband owned a restaurant, and the area we live in is heavy in snowbirds, which means in the summer, you don't have a whole lot of business. And so that first summer, I'm going, we're not going to survive another summer if we don't come up with something. Rare, whatever. I came up with this. It was the Easy Money program. I went to all the churches in our area, and I said, you come eat at my restaurant morning, noon, or night, any day of the week. You tell my server the name of your church. At the end of the month, I add up how much you spent, and I tie 10% of that back to your church. And they're like, really? I said, really? And so I didn't know how it was going to work, but let me tell you something. It worked. One of the churches stood on the pulpit and he said, you're going out to eat. You better be going to that restaurant. He said, you don't realize the money that we got paid our phone bill. Another church said they saved up the money all winter. So when they had their summer camp, if they had a child that couldn't afford it, here we had the money. Different churches used it for different things. And before you knew it, even in the summertime, we had lines out the door waiting to come in and eat. And even then, I guess I didn't realize I was connecting people. If we had two people sitting at a table that really could sit four and I had a line, I would pull out two people. Come here, let me introduce you to them. Sit down here and enjoy dinner with them. They're great people. And so many relationships formed out of that restaurant.
Yeah.
And all the churches came together, and it was just great because not only were they helping us with our business, but we were helping them.
Yeah.
Because I remember in the summertime when the snowbirds go home, tithing goes down. So it helped them in the summer to be able to pay their bills or whatever.
But it also helped you as well. When you actually think about it, like God did not put us on this planet to be in these silos by ourselves. And I talk about anyone that listens to my podcast, I talk about this like almost every episode, but it's true. He did not put us here to be in silos. He put us here to work together. Like if you can work together for the betterment of all, that will bring you everything you could possibly desire and more. And it will bring everyone else what they desire and more.
That's
and if you always look at it that way, you will never be in lack ever,
Right.
It's so
you
beautiful.
won't. It's all helping people. The more you help people, it comes back around to you, and you just continue to help them and it continues to come back to you.
Beautiful. Oh, so good. So Phyllis, where would you say is the vision for your business in the next maybe 3 to 5 years? Where do you see it going?
I see it exploding. I see it exploding in a lot of ways. One is debt is getting to be very bad. Okay. Student loan debt is $1.7 trillion. $1.7 trillion. We're seeing doctors, chiropractors coming out of college with $300,000-$400,000 in debt. How are you supposed to live when you got that kind of debt? That don't include a house and your business or anything else. That's just student loan debt. That's a lot of debt. Credit card debt is second in line at $1.3 trillion. We're also seeing a lot of interest rates now going to 34 and 36%. So people, are trying to make it. I do understand you got to put gas in your car. You got to put food on your table and all that. I get that. But you can't continue on this road or things collapse inside your house financially. So I see it really kind of exploding. The more I can get out there and talk to people, the more podcasts I learn how to do good, and getting the word out and everything. I think my business is going to really explode.
Yeah. I mean, I think it already is. I believe that if you can help people with their monetary needs, like they're being able to feed their families and all of that stuff, then everything else just falls into place because they feel safe, they feel secure, they feel like they can do it, like they can make it, And so I really do believe that what you're doing and what mission you're on is just so phenomenal. I'm just so proud of you for just getting out there and helping people eliminate their debt so that they can truly breathe and love life and live that millionaire momentum life, right? So I love it.
That's right.
I think that that's the first step, is just recognizing and not having shame around it. It just is what it is, and just knowing that it's okay and you can move forward from it. How many times have like the big wigs and stuff been bankrupt or have lost everything or had gone into debt because of business risks they took and it went sideways, or, whatever. It's not just student loan debt, but any kind of debt,
Years ago, Ed McMahon, the sidekick for Johnny Carson. So he filed bankruptcy and everybody in the whole world was like shocked. You're with Johnny Carson. You make all this money. How can you file bankruptcy and blah, blah, blah. And so finally he said, because I made some bad investments. He said, I didn't handle my money correctly. So it doesn't matter if you make $30,000 a year or you make $3 million a year or you make $30 million a year. If you don't handle the money correctly, you're going to lose it, Exactly. So there's no shame though in that, because everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
Yep. And it's better to just figure it out than to sit in it. So yeah, I totally agree. I love it. Wonderful. Okay. So we have rapid fire here. I mean, you don't have to be super rapid, but this is kind of our wrap up section. So my question to you is, what is your take on AI? Because we have our millionaire life version of it, which is abundance and impact, right? Aligned. But there's also the artificial intelligence side of things, because we do own an AI agency. And so we always ask everyone, whether you love it or you hate it or you use it or you don't, what is your opinion on AI?
Oh, I guess with anything new in technology, I always say there's good and bad, and it's how you use it. So at first when it came out, I went, not me, not going to use it. Well, that famous last words, right? So I do use AI, but I use it mostly for my social media posts. But I also use it for research for student loan debt, because it saves me a whole lot of reading and a whole lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
So I use it a lot to stay on top of, because student loan debt is always changing. And so I try to stay on top of what are the new changes, what are the new laws coming out, what are they going to do now, and so I can stay on top of it and being able to help people with their student loan debt. So I think, of course, you use, like anything, you use it correctly, AI can be good, Yeah.
Yes. No, I love that. I love that. And I completely agree. I think that when it comes to the research side, you do want to double check, obviously, because it's not perfect, but I do completely agree with you. I use it for research all the time. And I also think that it just helps to enhance who we already are. It doesn't replace it. It doesn't take over or anything, but it just helps us to do our jobs better. And it allows us to help and serve more people, because we can get things done quicker and faster. So as long as it's used correctly, like you said, I think that it's a huge blessing in our lives. And so I'm just grateful that we have it. So my next question is, what excites you about OfferLab? OfferLab, obviously, for those that don't know, it's a platform where you can bring your products and services, and affiliates can find you, and you can do collaborations together, and you can get the word out about your products and services. And so that's what Phyllis and I are doing here, is we are doing this podcast episode, but then below this episode, you're going to see a link, and we'll have multiple links there. But one of the links will be our collaboration that we're doing together. So I would love to hear your thoughts on it, and if you're excited about it, and if so, why?
I am. It's another platform, so to speak, for me to get the word out about what I do, and also to be able to take a look at somebody else's business that maybe I haven't heard of. I go, wow, that's really neat. I want to get to know them. I want to get to know that business. How can I help them? Who can I bring to them? I think it's going to be great. I really do. It's a way for everybody to come together and be able to collaborate.
Yeah. And I think the cool part about it is just like Alignable, their focuses are different, but they do the same thing. The goal is everyone coming together, right? And so the more places that you can be, whether it's in person, whether it's online, whether it's a platform, whether it's just a piece of paper that you send to somebody, like it doesn't matter the modality, but the whole point is we want to work together, not separately. And if we can really understand that concept, then that's game over,
That's right.
So true. Wonderful. Okay. And then my last question for you. What does Millionaire Momentum life look like for you?
Time freedom. Gives me the time. I'm not tied to a job. I'm not tied to a boss. I'm not tied to you only get so many weeks off for vacation. If I don't want to work this afternoon, I can rearrange my calendar and I can go do what I want. Time freedom is important. When you work a job, and let's say you make good money, so you have money, but you have no time. And if, like me, you leave the job with no exit plan, which I don't advocate people do that. But anyway, you now have time, right? But you don't have money.
Yeah.
Have money, you got to have time and freedom, and they go hand in hand, and that's what makes life so good.
It's so true. So true. I love that. And really, that's what it comes down to. We're not here to just work a job all the time or be a slave to our debt or whatever the thing is. We're here to enjoy life. And so if we can really be in alignment and figure out what that looks like, then we're good. Then everything is working out the way that we need it to. So I love that. So Phyllis, if people want to reach out to you and they want to connect with you, where do they go to find you?
You find me on Alignable, of course. You can also find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. I'm not posting, but I am on Facebook. Therefore, you can message me. And if you want, and remember, you can also email me at PARNSTEIN199@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you guys. Connect with me.
Yes, for sure. And if you have a website, we'll put it down below. But sometimes I've noticed with Phyllis, she doesn't want to lead with her business. She wants to actually meet you, talk with you, connect with you. And so that's what's more important for her. And then the business will come later. But connect with Phyllis. She is the best person to be connected with, hands down. So definitely make it a priority. And Phyllis, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your light, your knowledge. And until next time, make sure to stay in alignment, live with abundance, lead with impact, and together, let's create your Millionaire Momentum life. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye. Have a blessed day. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Momentum Show. Remember, true freedom isn't measured by income. It's about living your life in alignment. And real wealth isn't just about money. It's about having the time to enjoy what matters most. Subscribe now, and if you found this episode valuable, share it, and we'll see you next time.